Right.
All right. I am watching now. It's currently on an ad. But
And we're live.
all right. Storyteller.
We're live.
Alrighty. Welcome everybody tonight to Blood on the Bayou, the Vampire 20th Anniversary Edition game we are running here on Final Show Films. My name is Julia, and I will be your storyteller for the evening. I am joined today by a wonderful group of people, and we can start introductions with Drevian.
I'm Drevian. I am playing the Malkavian tailor Simon DeLuca.
And then Katie.
Hi, my name is Katie, and I am playing Mercy Ransom, who is a vampire ghost tour guide who drives a hearse.
And what clan are you playing tonight?
I am the Toreador clan.
Jeremy.
Hi, I am Jeremy. I am playing Catriona, Giovanni. I think you can guess the clan. She's Clan Giovanni. I get it easy.
They never really hide that one.
No. I'm Giovanni. I'm Clan Gangrel. My family hates me.
Twist.
Yes.
Twist.
I need to make that character one day.
Yes.
It's like
and
whenever
last, we have Shawnee.
Hi, I'm Shawnee, and I'm playing Guaya Vincente, the Asamite sorceress Bayou witch.
Okay, so for those of you
the
who
audio is
don't
good.
know,
Sorry.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with the game that we're playing tonight, World of Darkness is a world much like our own, except all of the horrible, horrible things you've heard about in folklore and fairy tales are all true. Everything is looking to kill you, and you just have to survive. Oh, I forgot something. Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, eat the rich.
Yep.
Vince McMahon?
Yes, fuck Vince McMahon.
Texas taking trans kids from their families and putting them somewhere else is genocide.
100%.
Yep.
Okay, so tonight our story begins as the sun sets on the horizon of Lake Pontchartrain, and the lights of the city come to life, and so do the denizens of the night. Our story takes place in the heart of New Orleans, a city of sight, sound, fun, and bacchanalia. People frolic, and the music of Bourbon Street is inescapable no matter how, let's be real, little you're trying. It's a place where all walks of life get along seemingly well. But around every corner is a set of fangs that sees a city just so ripe for the taking. We begin our story at the height of the season of celebration of Carnival, just 1 week before the night of Mardi Gras. With upwards of 1 million tourists entering into the city during this time, rumors have been spreading of the crime rate rising, and eyes within and without of the Camarilla are looking towards friend and foe alike. Our scene shifts to an area just outside of the city in the Bayou, where we see a small, I like to assume, rundown shack.
Oh, generally, it's only got one dot of domain.
Just that nice image of the swamp house with the door that's kind of there.
Yeah.
And the sound of a phone going off breaks the silence of the night. Guayar, what would be your ringtone?
That's a damn good question. Hang on a minute.
I asked too fast.
It's a loud organ sting as the opening notes of Villainous Thing by Schaefer James begins to play.
I love it. So the words unknown number flash across your screen, which aren't unusual. A lot of people that you know are very, very secretive with that kind of information.
So there's a brief pause. Let the first few notes of the song play, and then pick the phone up, turn it on. Why, hello there.
Guayar, it's Destiny.
Good to hear from you, darling.
Always a pleasure. So, I've got a bit of a situation, and I was hoping I could ask for your hand and a little bit of help.
Well,
As you're aware, people are flocking in to the city left and right, and things are getting a little hard to manage and patrol. And they found a body last night out around Lafitte Cemetery. Now, wouldn't be too big a deal if, one, the cemetery wasn't closed. Ever since the whole pandemic thing, they're not letting people go in. So the other unusual thing was the puncture marks.
Some poor idiot didn't lick the wound.
I can't tell if it was intentional, hurried, or a message.
Well, you know what they say, everything's got a price. What are you offering?
I will talk to Simone and see if I can't get you some free reign to feed around the area for the night.
Why not? Seems like a simple enough job. I might as well take a stroll.
Now, I know you've got a bit of a reputation for working by yourself, but I just can't risk it with everybody coming in, and we've had a rise in this ship.
Babysitting.
Well, I got a number of people that are going to be working with you tonight. Some are new to the city. Some are long-term residents. So, two women and a man. Believe Toreador, Giovanni, and one of the lunatics.
You are making things interesting.
Well, not to make it sound like a bad thing when I say this, but when things are tight, you look for every resource you can use. So you and the other three will have free reign to feed around Lafitte, and I'll say about a 15 block radius from there. Just since you know well, Simone believes that this is high priority, and what she says goes. So
tell the darling I'll take care of it.
All right, I thank you kindly.
You want the body simply disposed of, or you want any information I might find?
Both. Yeah, see what you can find out and go with the others. You should be able to just redial this number.
Where am I meeting them?
I would say northern side of the cemetery. About a block up. Just not to arouse suspicion.
All right, well, I guess I better get moving then. Only got so much night to burn.
All right, so you hang up and get all of your bits and bobs together and head towards the city. Is there anything else you need to do before you make your way that way?
A little bit more dirty work. And I'll just go ahead and grab my motorcycle and get going. I don't have much else to prep.
Okay. Cat. The night has been kind to you. What would you have been doing within the first hour after sunset?
First hour, Cat is still busy getting things set up in the city. Having just arrived, she is probably in the middle of phone calls with her assistant, making sure that all of the proper resources are being transferred down from New York, making sure that probably being in contact with a lot of local authorities that she needs to do just to put some finishing touches on being able to practice down here for the family, things like that.
Okay.
Just walking around her house.
The ADHD pace.
Absolutely.
Cannot sit still on phone. Have to move.
Yep.
Brain has to do something.
Yep.
Seen a think she was a VA consultant on TikTok, and like she had a skateboard and hardwood floors and would just be going around on the phone.
Nice.
So you get off a call with one of your assistants,
yep.
And you have, as you hang up, you receive a text message from an unknown number.
Okay. Frowns and opens it up.
There is a set of coordinates, and simply the sentence. Actually, no, it's a paragraph, but it details. The first line is, new job, must accept. Need a fresh set of eyes for the area to look into possible murder, possible Sabbat activity in the area of Lafitte Cemetery. 3 other individuals will be joining you tonight, and you will be granted feeding rights within a 15-block radius of the area.
And is this a number that I recognize to be?
You're new to the city.
Right.
Probably have not met too many of the local kindred.
No.
So I'm going to go with probably not.
Okay.
So yeah, a number you don't recognize, but there is a list of names that are accompanied to the text message.
Okay.
Simon DeLuca, Guire Vincente, and Mercy Ransom.
Okay.
So
she will consider for a moment and just starts typing, and it comes back with can do, courtesy question. Can I ask who this is?
There will be a pause. It'll be about 5 minutes before you get a response, with just 2 words spaced apart. Destiny Sheriff.
We'll be there. And a phone number is added to my contact list.
Yep.
All right. Yep. She goes up to her room, pulls out a scalpel, and pockets it. pulls out her gun, pockets, make sure it's loaded, safety on, pockets that. And how far is that from where I live? Because I'm about 7 blocks northwest of the French Quarter.
Okay, I don't believe too far. The fabled Google Maps will tell me.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna go.
Is Lafitte the one with Nicolas Cage's mausoleum in it?
It sure is.
Oh,
Okay.
yay!
So yeah, it's about from the like southwest side of the French Quarter. It's about another block or two.
Okay, so it would be
Not
going
quite
through the
that.
quarter and
Yeah.
then okay. That's fine to walk. She'll walk it.
Oh yeah. I've been looking at a great many things.
It's only a couple miles out of the way.
Yeah, that's an easy walk.
I also
Especially
learned
so
that
far.
where Jeremy's house is, there is a Mardi Gras parade that goes right in front of it.
That sounds about right. Yep.
Wait. There's a street in New Orleans that doesn't have a Mardi Gras parade go down it?
Also, that's a fair question.
Oh, there are quite a few. Like most of French Quarter doesn't see a parade.
You-
There's a handful that go through, but a lot of the streets of the French Quarter don't,
Huh.
including a certain tailor shop and a certain museum.
All right. Okay, so yeah, you begin making your way that way. You are fairly undisturbed.
All right. Yep. I'm just heading to where I'm supposed to go.
Mercy, about when do you actually start your tour route?
After sunset, it's got to be completely dark. Sets the mood.
Well, there's also that unfortunate side effect of dying if there is sunlight. But
Sets the mood.
okay, so
Gotta have that nice ambiance for going past the Voodoo Queen's tomb.
Right?
so about an hour 15 into your first leg of your tour, you'll get a phone call. And-
Connected. Go ahead.
Go on.
She just sighs and puts it on her, even though you're not technically supposed to. She's driving with a Bluetooth. Puts it
Oh,
on
no.
her Bluetooth.
Someone in the world of darkness doing something illegal.
Right.
The horror.
I'm a rebel. So she takes it to her Bluetooth and she goes, Mercy Ransom.
I hope I'm not interrupting you in the middle of a company tour.
Not yet. I'm cruising for some tourists. What's going on?
I hate asking you things solely because I know you actually have a job and you're actually busy. I know a lot
What
of.
is it?
I need you and a few others to do a little bit of investigating around Lafitte's cemetery. There was a body found last night with a set of fang marks. We don't know the details. All we know is it was found. It has been kept there under wraps. I did leave it with somebody. Or I had it left with somebody. All I can say is good luck with that. But you're going to be accompanied by 3 other, let's say, coworkers.
Who you sticking me with, Destiny?
Well, there's the Devil of New Orleans.
Okay.
I'm going to butcher the fuck out of this. Catriona. Giovanni.
All right, must be new.
Hopefully she goes by Cat. That's gonna be way easier to remember. And Simon DeLuca. That's
Okay.
and they should be there, arrive about a block north of the cemetery, and then walk over. And,
All right. I'm not too far. I'm not too far. Let me maneuver around these tourists, and I should be there shortly.
Okay. I'll tell you the same thing I told the other two. Simone's granting you feeding rights over the 15 block radius around the cemetery. I don't know if you understand the weight of that, but this is kind of a hush hush and a do it quick project.
I get it. Stealth operation. Got it. It's how I live.
Alrighty. Report back to me with whatever you find. That goes for all four of you. So,
Will do.
Good luck. And he will hang up. And it will.
Guess that's my night.
Just turn off your light, drive.
If it wasn't 15 blocks, I'd tell you where you can shove it.
He probably would. But yeah, it's about 5-10 minute drive for you. Just getting around tourists and getting there, no big deal. Simon, what would Simon be doing about roughly an hour and a half after sunset? What would he be getting into tonight?
Chatting with with his managers of his clothing boutique to see what projects had come in over the day.
There are a few, none that like really stand out. A lot of repairs. About this time, you see a lot of people bringing out older Mardi Gras costumes to get updated and get fixed. A lot of people go for a very high dress sort of outfit. So you guys are busy, but nothing like super eye-catching or like anything that would draw your attention really deeply into a project tonight. That being said, one of your managers brings you one of the tablets for the establishment and says, "Hey, boss, we have an email here, and I think this was meant for you, but this went to the company email." And he hands you the tablet, and it's taglined urgent, and it has a set of coordinates, the words 15 block feeding radius, cannot deny job. And that is it. Destiny got tired of talking to people.
Destiny's also a brouhaha that do not like Simon.
Nope. So yeah, you're presented with those 3 separate statements in your email. Your manager sort of looks at you like, what's that about?
How familiar are retainers with the veil? Like with the masquerade? Like are they so far into the fold that they're aware of vampires at this point?
I think it depends on the retainer.
Because these two are like they're basically Simon's confidants, and that's why they're trusted with running of the store.
So yeah, they'd be fairly familiar with, if he was open to sharing those details, they would be very familiar with that.
As long as it wouldn't get him in trouble.
No, I mean
Then
they're your retainers. You can deal with them as you will.
yeah,
So if they get too out of hand,
I get yelled at by a Bruja again and lose some retainers.
I mean that, or there's always the Italian necktie.
Yeah.
Um,
Simon would just like, it appears something happened at the cemetery. Like a couple blocks over.
anything?
And I'm being told to take a look.
Anything we should be worried about? Should we close? Like, what do you want us to do?
I'd say go ahead and lock up, like lock the storefront, and like appointments, stuff like go by appointment only. Like we're not in the full swing of things, and so we shouldn't get too many people down the street during the night, anyways.
Okay, as long as they got a card, I'll let them in.
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
Indeed.
He takes the tablet, scurries off, and puts it in a charging station, and very quickly goes to flip the sign to closed. And then your other assistant rolls his eyes and begins writing on a piece of paper, and then hands it to the other guy as he tapes up "If you have an appointment, call this number," and tapes it to the door. So I assume you make your way to the cemetery.
Yep. Out a back door, down an alley, and
so roughly all at the same time. I think Kat might get there first.
If we're all going to be arriving about the same time, Kat and Simon would probably actually see each other, both coming up from.
Yeah, more than likely. So you guys are about a block up. You can see the gates of the cemetery where you're at.
Cool.
Not too long after that. Well, first, Kat, would you describe yourself to?
Kat she looks like she was probably embraced in mid-20s or so. She is fairly short. Caucasian, sort of black shoulder length hair, darker green eyes, and is dressed very much like, not like somebody who would go to a cemetery at night necessarily, maybe for a service during the day. She is dressed very much in the power suit, skirt, very sensible heels, and is just walking. She looks like somebody who is walking her way down the street, having no idea where she is, but is 100% confident regardless. Like she has there's none of that touristy sort of like, I don't know where I am, I turned down the wrong road kind of demeanor to her.
So she studied Google Maps for like 10 minutes before leaving her house.
Very much so. Very much so.
All right. Simon, would you mind describing your character?
Simon is very sharply dressed, like, and impeccably tailored, like wearing a fairly nice suit that in colors that you wouldn't expect to see on a suit. Like it's black almost with an almost cool blue tone to it suit with a lightish coat over it that has red accents and has wearing fairly tall boots, also with red accents, and all like black leather, matching black leather on the coat and boots.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise is very young looking, moderately tall. He's not particularly tall. He stands maybe an eye above most people in a crowd, but otherwise doesn't stand out, with long blonde hair. He looks pale, very light complexion, not like, you can tell he has never gotten much sun,
Right.
and green eyes that, if you watch for a bit, weirdly don't blink very frequently. It's like watching someone who's so focused that they forget to blink.
I know that feeling too well. Um, I like to call it computerized. So the two of you meet on the street.
Can't immediately, because standing out a little bit, and just as a sort of head cocking thing of like the international signal of, are you one of the people I'm supposed to meet here? Kind of thing, meeting, not direct eyes, but meeting in general face area.
What would probably help is, on the way over, how do the powers work in Vampire? Because Simon would probably be using Auspex if he can.
Okay, so using Auspex.
I believe that's just turn on and off, isn't it?
It is. Believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you have to spend a blood point to do it.
I don't know on heightened
No,
sense.
Auspex doesn't take much. Not even aura perception. You just roll perception and whatever the relevant thing is. For aura perception, it's empathy.
Okay.
Yeah, just turning on a heightened senses is, you just need a reflexive action.
Like, this would probably be going with aura perception.
Okay.
That's an active thing that you have to do for each person.
Yeah, and like heightened senses decreases any perception checks that are associated with using any rolls associated with using your senses.
Yep.
In difficulty by a number equal to your Auspex rating, and then aura perception is an active thing that you do, which is perception empathy diff 8, which can also be affected by your heightened senses.
Can it?
I believe so. It's anything using your senses.
Aura perception.
But the thing is, when you use your heightened senses, you're at risk of blinding yourself.
Yes. Or, God forbid, somebody in a really loud vehicle drives by.
Yeah. Okay, so aura perception, looking at a target.
Yes.
Or perception empathy 8.
Yes, perception empathy difficulty 8.
Ooh, first actual roll of the campaign.
Well, I mean, after the character stares at a subject for at least a few seconds,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Simon's staring, but I'm not sure if he's staring at one thing for a few seconds.
So yeah, after Cox stare back. Hi. Can I help you with something?
Out for a stroll, can I help you?
That depends. Are you... And she opens up the phone specifically to check the list of names.
Are you... My name is Simon, if that's what you're asking.
Yes. How do you spell it? It's not an uncommon name.
Simen.
Perfect.
All
right.
It's Norwegian. Got it from my father's side.
I'm Kat. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as
Apparently
well.
We'll be working together on
Little way now.
This. Weren't you told?
Did the email even include that there's other people involved?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
I
You
was
got told
not.
show up, do this thing, and you might be able to eat.
Nope. Destiny is not fond of me and tends to be very quick.
Good
I-
Yeah,
to know.
I got an email of 3 lines telling me where to go. 15 block feeding radius, and I can't refuse.
Fair enough. Well, it's not just the two of us. We have 2 more coming. Do you know I assume you're established here?
Yes, I run a store and points. Like, I run a store a couple blocks over. I tailor clothes and point, like, gestures in the
Okay.
direction.
It's
Nice.
about this time the two of you can hear a vehicle approaching.
Which one?
I was just about to say, Guire, will you describe your motorcycle?
Yeah, so there's a deep rumbling growl as a Chevrolet, just like cruising motorcycle, just starts to pull up the road and just find a decent spot to park. As the individual pulls it to a halt and steps off, pulls off a helmet, and then very quickly sets it down, and then pulls into a coat, pulls out a small box, flips it open, and puts a pair of contacts in immediately. And then turns to walk over towards these two that are standing out in the middle of the sidewalk near a cemetery, looking like fish out of water.
Yeah, the weird thing about this is that for as crowded as the entire city is, it is dead out here. You had no problem finding a parking spot, which is very weird.
Yeah, it's the like very like dark, literally slightly darker than blood red Chevy just stops, kicks the stand out.
Yep.
Comes to a rest. And approaching the other two.
Are you sorry? Go ahead.
Go on.
Oh no, she was just literally like, "Are you?" And then, oh, sorry, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, and the
Would Simon be familiar with Guire?
Roll me. Let me.
my status is 2, if that matters.
You would probably be familiar with Guire's moniker, but probably not her actual name. And you might have seen her around, but roll me. Why not? Wits and etiquette. Difficulty 6. Actually, difficulty 5.
Now to figure out how to roll on this sheet.
Go to dice, the dice tab up at the top.
There is indeed a dice set that helps. Let's see.
And then you can make a custom dice pool.
Just add to one to your main dice pool.
So you said wits
And etiquette.
etiquette.
Difficulty 5.
Difficulty 5. And
I don't know if that's the actual roll, but that's what we're going with.
otherwise, what comes to mind is something like wits streetwise, which I don't think makes a difference. Difficulty 5. 2 successes.
2 successes, yes. You have heard of this individual. You've seen them around, and this is... tell me if I'm getting this right, Shawnee, is the Devil of New Orleans, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Reload my roll 20 since no rolls are going through on my end.
Make sure you set players, make sure you send rolls to public or to
Or
ST,
to ST and so on.
either way.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I was
Just make sure it's
looking,
not set on private or myself.
You want to guess what it was set to?
Myself. Yeah,
Yep.
I think it's myself by default.
When Guire walks up, Simon will comment to Kat, like, you said there was two others joining us. I was
Mhm.
not expecting the Devil of New Orleans, the Devil of the Bayou, whatever she gets called anymore. Nicknames are
Impressive
weird.
name. Is that what you prefer?
Well, to describe her, approaching is a tall woman of about 5'11", who is a unique blend of physicality of predator and seductress. Very tall, confident, and like elegantly curvaceous, but with the sort of like angular features that speak of a warning of danger. She has bright orange hair that's a decent length, but is tied back behind the head. And with whatever contacts she's wearing, her eyes are green. She's broader than you would typically expect, well muscled. And her attire is a primarily like black and violet shirt and dark pants with brown, well-worn boots, with a long crimson coat that very much exudes the sort of the occult swagger that one would expect from like a traditional New Orleans witch doctor style, with the swagger cane that looks to be a very old wooden make with a ruby gem set in the head that she walks very elegantly with, and a pair of like circular black earrings on one eyebrow, and then like a silver chain that hangs around her neck that disappears, the pendant of which disappears underneath her shirt. And as she approaches, well, the two of you are the most fish out of water I've seen all night, so I would suspect that you're my contacts for the evening.
Two of them. And I'm sorry. You are clearly looking at her phone to mark off a name on the list.
Guia Vincente.
Ah, yes. So we are waiting on Mercy then. I'm Kat.
The Giovanni. Which would make you
Correct.
Simon DeLuca.
Hello.
I was going to wait till we all got here to start the official stuff, but yes.
And finally, rolling down the street, Mercy, would you please describe your mode of transportation to the rest of the class, please?
It is a classic black hearse. Like every cartoon comic trope of what a hearse looks like. That's what we're looking at. Good old fashioned
Nice.
Crimson velvet corpse carrying interior.
Yes. It's a beauty. It's shiny black, classic, like you said, the red velveteen interior. The light is currently turned off. She steps out the door, slams it, mutters something about and is tourists, and you see a woman who looks to be about 20, about 5'7", average build. pretty pale, but not deathly pale skin. Long, ink black, wavy hair, green eyes. She dresses in a manner befitting somebody who does ghost tours for a living. She has a dusty purple shirt, rings, bracelets, long flowy skirt, bohemian skirt, and black boots, and has a very red, maroon, purple color scheme going on.
Okay. All right. A very very avant-garde to the rest of the group.
Yes.
But yes, it appears all four of you have arrived.
All right. I'm going to Mercy.
Yes, and you are?
I'm Kat.
Hello, Kat.
Kat
You must be
Giovanni.
new.
Yes, I am.
Fair enough. Welcome to New Orleans.
Lovely to see you, Mercy.
Lovely to see you too, Guer. How's it going?
Well, been pulled out in the middle of the night to go handle someone else's dirty work, but
I understand. If it went 15 blocks, I can tell Destiny where she would shove it.
E.
Destiny's a he.
Hey, sorry.
That's okay.
Not that I appreciate that we have a certain amount of privacy at the moment, but maybe we can
Let's get
start
walking.
our walk and we can get pleasantries out of the way.
Yes.
So-
let's
Dwyer
walk.
definitely just immediately starts walking towards it and into the cemetery.
Yep.
Just the stick, the walking stick, just sort of clicking on the ground the entire time.
So the gate is closed. However, a good rock against it just lets it open enough for you guys to, all of you to squeeze through.
Along the way, once we're inside, I am going to be activating Witness of Death, Sepulture Path 1, so I can see ghosts.
Holy fuck, Batman.
Yeah.
Uh,
I do have to roll this.
okay.
There is. I mean, it's a good roll for me, but also I'm rolling dice, so we'll see.
Also, isn't it your one dot? Isn't it your one dot ritual?
It's my one dot, yes.
Or one dot power. So
Yeah,
it's
for
relatively
those
easy
of
to
you
activate.
for those of you who are joining us for the first time on a Final Show Films stream, Jeremy has notoriously bad luck when dice are involved.
I call it wheatening. All right, there's a good start.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there are
Hey.
plenty of ghosts here.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm
there
just saying, are they acting abnormal to how ghosts typically react in a cemetery? Like, do they appear more agitated than usual? Are they all gathered in one place?
Well, the first thing you notice is that like they are generally going around and either conversing with each other or they seem to be fairly sociable. But the thing that catches your eye is as soon as all four of you have entered into the cemetery, they all turn and look at you.
Right. And as I activate it, I am going to Cat reaches out and just loops a hand around Simon's elbow, like being escorted, kind of thing. Because it's real hard to see the regular world when you're looking through to the shadow world.
Simon looks down at your hand around his elbow, just confused.
Doesn't say a thing. Like, this is just normal etiquette behavior.
Okay. So, go ahead all four of you and give me I had this pulled up. Perception. It's wits and investigation,
Okay.
I think. Yes. Forgive me, everybody. It has been a number of years since I've actually run this system, so we're all learning together.
For those of us who have no investigation dots.
For those of you who have no investigation, you can do wits and perception.
Okay, what do I add that to the main dice pools?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can add any number of rolls. And what diff?
6.
Diff 6? Okay.
So with that investigation, wits and perception?
Yes.
Wits and alertness, you mean? For
alertness, yes. I've been doing nothing but listening to New World of Darkness.
Yeah.
So yes, wits and alertness.
Any
2
modifiers?
Successes. Modifiers, if any of you have an Auspex activated, that will, if you have heightened senses activated, your bonuses for that will apply.
Is it still diff 6?
Yes. No, I think it reduces it, does it
It
not?
reduces difficulty.
No, Auspex reduces your diff, but is it still diff 6 for just
Yes.
wits and alertness rather than investigation?
Yes. Diff 6 across the board.
Oh,
It's not a bot, just a failure.
this is technically true.
Yep.
Perception
Simon
was the other one?
coming in will use Auspex to see a little better in the dark.
You're countering my difficulties.
Auspex.
That's
is
actually I should check.
2.
Is this vision based? Because that will raise my difficulty.
Yes, this is you guys
Okay.
trying to find something.
That changes things significantly for me then.
What's alertness?
0 successes.
It makes sense. Your eyes are in a different world.
Exactly. It's plus 3 difficulty. So
Cats
So let's
see
see.
colors
What's
you've only
alertness
dreamed of.
difficulties?
Most of the time, 4
Decreases
rolls,
difficulty.
base difficulty will be 6. Heightened senses drops it by
your Auspex rating.
Yep. Okay, 3 successes. So Simon, Mercy, why did you roll twice?
Because I thought we were supposed to roll wits and perception.
You rolled them together.
yes.
Oh,
Sorry, when it's
I did not know that. I apologize.
It's okay.
oh, you rolled wits alertness and perception alertness is what you mean.
Okay.
Okay, how do I fix
I
that?
think.
How do I roll
1
them
plus
together?
2 and 1 plus 2.
Yeah. So in the dice pool, one of them.
Yes.
So when you have your thing, your attribute will be wits,
Okay.
and then the ability that's right next to it will either be alertness or investigation.
Those are
whichever you
drop
have is
downs.
better. Yeah, those are
Okay.
drop downs. You can click on to change.
Oh, hi! Look at that.
It's if you don't actually, it can be confusing.
We do
I
be
apologize.
learning now.
Yep.
I apologize.
It's all
Don't
good.
apologize.
Do I need to roll?
This-
Do I need to roll again?
If you do not mind.
I do not mind.
Okay.
There you go.
That's much better.
There we go.
I like
Okay,
that number
so-
better.
So everybody but Kat, who is seeing colors that the rest of you have only
Yep.
dreamed of,
Lots of new friends.
going around the cemetery, while you are finding evidence of something, you are not finding this body that was supposedly here. The thing that let me see, Guayar, you'll find it first. There is on one of the random mausoleums throughout the cemetery is just a spray of blood across it with a set of claw marks through it.
Somebody was quite hasty.
Cat will blink her eyes a couple of times.
Says-
Sort of glow goes away.
And she sort of brings a hand up to run a finger through some of the blood. Has it already dried or is it still fresh?
It has already dried. From the texture, you would assume probably overnight, dried in the sun.
Oh, someone's made quite a mess. This has been out all day. Anybody walking by would have seen it if the cemetery wasn't closed.
It's unfortunate. Do we have a body?
Somebody's either really dumb or really ballsy.
Mercy, you will find another set of looks like it's hard to tell exactly what happened, but you're fairly certain one of those mausoleums is missing part of its roof. Just completely like decimated.
Do y'all see that over there? We got a missing roof. I don't think that's supposed to happen.
This is starting to look less like a vampire attack and more like a werewolf came through. Either that or a particularly angry Bruja.
Okay, Grell.
Fair.
Most Bruja don't leave claws like that.
Simon, you find a blood trail leading to a rather notorious grave marker.
It's a big white pyramid, isn't it?
It is a big white pyramid.
Of course. Please tell me someone murdered Nicolas Cage. Not that I want him dead. I just think it'd be really funny. To be
Nicolas
clear.
Cage's body to be in his mausoleum in New Orleans.
No, guys, no. Nick Cage is the vampire in the...
Of course.
He's playing
Vampire
Dracula in a new
werewolf.
movie.
He is.
I thought he was playing
my
Nosferatu.
No, he's Dracula.
Okay. I heard
He has a
Really?
Renfield and the whole thing.
Am I
Yeah.
incorrect?
It's actually a movie focused on Renfield, and he's the Dracula.
Oh,
playing
so
Dracula.
Dracula is like a sidekick.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just
I
practicing to
think-
be turned.
I think they're remaking Nosferatu. I swear I heard that somewhere. I could
I
be
believe so. I believe it's been in the works. Whether it's actually made progress, it's been too long since I've heard any news on it.
Is it in development hell?
Pretty much.
Probably.
I mean, most things, to be fair, went into development hell when lockdown happened.
Very true.
That's fair.
So
That's fair. The world turned
Yes.
off for a minute.
a little bit.
So, Simon, I assume you point this out to the rest of your entourage.
Yeah, Just- particularly since Cat is on his elbow. It's like, I mean, your eyes are a bit less glowy. Can you see this now?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
That is that what I think it is. Looking just at the pyramid.
That is
Some-
one of my biggest tourist draws, and if somebody messed that up, I am gonna be.
I'm surprised your biggest tourist draw is Nicolas Cage's mausoleum and not the tomb of the Voodoo Queen.
I said
People are-
one.
People
Fair.
are stupid.
I
They
said
are.
one. I gotta make money, don't I? Voodoo Queens, Nick Cage.
Fair.
And
Do what you gotta do.
in any event, I think it's best that we go and take a look, shall we? Gras
Yes,
says as she starts
um,
walking in that
Oh,
direction.
alright.
While we're learning more about each other. Proper introductions. Catriona Giovanni, Clan Giovanni.
Mercy Ransom, Toreador.
Simon De Luca of Clan Malkavian.
Guaya Vincente, oftentimes known as the Devil of New Orleans, Clan Asamite.
So, as the four of you begin investigating the pyramid, there is the sound of grinding stone as part of it is moved away, and a white hand with broken and tarnished fingernails begins pushing it the rest of the way, and out steps.
All I could think is start pushing it back.
Out steps a bald-headed, white-skinned individual with one ear about 12 inches long from his head and the other one right against it at about 3. Missing a nose, eyes of 2 different colors and 2 different sizes, dressed in an assemblage of what can only be called homeless chic. Steps out and goes, who the fuck turned off the sun? Who the fuck are you for?
Hello.
Buddy, your clothes look like shit.
I just bought this outfit.
Forgive
Is
my
that your
companion.
whole look, or
Do I recognize this Nosferatu?
Roll me wits and streetwise. Diff 5.
Wits, streetwise.
Can Simon also make this roll?
Yes, anybody who would like to can.
Okay.
I'm
That's
guessing
actually
I
a botch.
probably would not know.
No, Cat. This is a strange new person you have never
Yes.
met.
It is a Nosferatu of some name.
Guaya has never heard of this person.
Simon,
Simon lives like a couple blocks away.
yeah, I mean, you've heard people talk about agony before. You've never seen him up close, but he matches basically every single one of the descriptions you've ever been given.
It's like,
He reaches up, scratches a hand, and rolls his fingers and flicks away moss.
It's like, he must be agony. I've heard there was a poorly dressed Nosferatu somewhere around the graveyard.
Well, I don't know if I must be agony, but I am. And
Agony.
this is my
Nice to
favorite
meet
shirt.
you.
And he reaches out a hand and shakes. And while it is unnaturally cold, it is also unnaturally warm
Yeah,
at the same time.
fair enough. I'm Kat.
Agony, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
And
we are
he smiles with a railroad track of teeth in all sorts of different colors and shapes.
nice. We are looking into perhaps if you've been here, you might have heard there was a murderer here.
I didn't see the event because I was out hunting and had to give me some. He reaches into a pocket you can't quite see and pulls out a little leather sort of flask that is marked with a green sticker. He cracks it, takes a swig. Had to get some, we'll call it intoxicants for the night. And I came back and there was everything you see here. But you must mean, and he walks back into the Nick Cage's mausoleum and just drags out a dead body and tosses it on the ground.
Wonderful.
I'm not a big investigator, but something tells me that's not how you should be handling a body.
Simon just prods at it with his foot slightly.
Well, in any event, let's take a look.
May
Guaya
I
says
try
as-
something before we start poking too far?
Go on.
Thank you.
Simon takes a step back.
She walks over, takes the body, sort of sits it up and sort of props it up against probably the side of the pyramid. Reaches into her pocket, takes out this old sort of looks like it's seen a lot of wear and tear over the years, very sort of rusted a scalpel. And proceeds to start murmuring under her breath in sort of a switch through of languages like Italian and Latin and the like. When she hits the end, she takes it and sticks it directly up into the bottom of the throat, up the bottom of the jaw. And I'm using the insight ritual.
Okay.
Which allows me to see the last certain number of time that this eye saw.
Okay.
Let me
So
find this specific.
yes,
I should have
tell
put it.
me-
I should have just put it in my powers if I was smart. Was I smart?
You might also put it in blood sorcery.
That's where it probably is. Yep. Intelligence, occult, blood point, difficulty 4. Success indicates ritual proceeds smoothly. Failure, no effect. A botch indicates something has gone horribly wrong. Stare into the eyes of a corpse. See reflected the last thing they witnessed. Only appears in the eyes of the cadaver and is visible to no one except the necromancer. You have to stare for about 5 minutes, so that's how long she takes doing the ritual. And then I make a roll, and the number of successes determines the clarity of the vision. A bot shows me my own final death. So we will hope that is not the case.
Man, they they don't fucking hold back with that.
Nope, don't botch.
For for 5 minutes, Simon's just chatting with Agony about like different spots of clothing that like should really get patched up. Spots that, if they keep getting worn and torn, might cause the clothing to no longer be functional.
Good news, I didn't botch.
Great news is you got an exceptional success.
Yeah, so I have full sensory perception of the hour leading to the target's death. Just floods my brain.
So as you all watch Kat stare deeply into the eyes of this deceased human, which is about 5'8", short cropped brunette hair, dead blue eyes, Caucasian male, dressed basically nondescript, very normal human. From what you can tell. So as she plunges this knife into his chin, throat,
just like up under the jaw, like directly through, basically make the connection to like brain optic nerves.
Her eyes her eyes go wide and she sort of glazes over for a moment as your mind is filled with the vision of 2, and you said you get all sensory with 5?
It is full, with five or more successes, yeah, it's full sensory perception.
So the first thing you notice is this guy is drunk. Like, he is 8 sheets to the wind.
Right.
As he walks towards the cemetery and is swaying, he sees 2 individuals, one African-American male and one Caucasian-looking female. Both are having an argument in a language he doesn't know, but do you know Spanish?
I do not. The only language I know Italian, which has some similarities, but I don't know. Spanish is not.
There are numerous loan words between Spanish and Italian that you might pick up a piece or two.
Yes.
But...
And there's a lot of the same roots.
Yes. The fun fact about the Romance languages is that if you know one of them, you kind of know them all.
A little bit.
It's the same for the Nordics as well.
So you are able to catch a few words that are said. The main words that pop out to you are not kind words. They're not the language of the mortal.
Right.
Um,
Okay. Not kind words.
Yeah. Kine.
Right. Not KIND.
The main thing you pick up is Camarilla is spouted a lot. Of course, they are speaking with an accent, so it comes out as Camarilla.
Right.
Princessa is said quite a few times with almost a spit to it. And as this man gets closer, they both turn, see him, and begin approaching as he ducks between the two of them and bashes his way into the cemetery. They run, chase him. The man jumping just straight over the walls. The woman snaking her way through the gate after him. And granted, he sobered up really quick.
Right.
Which you generally do when two people come charging at you. And pain fills his vision as there's this white hot flash as one of them extends claws from their hand and just rakes up his chest, spraying blood onto and clawing through into that mausoleum you saw earlier.
Okay.
You can confirm through the tears in his clothing. It looks like the blood has dried or has been rubbed away. But those marks are there.
Okay.
And then as he staggers and pulls out a gun, the male grabs him and tosses him through one of the mausoleums. At which point, none of his vision, his vision is gone. His hearing is filled with nothing but ringing.
Right.
And then an immense amount of pain as a pair of fangs are sunk into his neck.
Okay.
And then
back to where I am.
Pure agony.
Yep.
Until you are back in the real.
So, quick clarification on that. It doesn't feel like he had the ecstasy of the kiss.
No.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, she there stares for probably a couple more seconds after that. I imagine that's probably how long it takes for all that. And then she just sort of starts back up, pulls the scalpel out, murmurs something quietly to the scalpel and puts it away, and then just shoves the body over and sort of sits up. I think I have some answers for us. And some potential conclusions. I'll let us as a group come to the conclusions, but I had some ideas. So this poor nobody happened to stumble on a couple individuals who were using a lot of words that I'm going to, there could be a lot of explanations. But he overheard vampiric matters being discussed. And my guess would be they're Sabbat matters.
Any particular turn of phrase that makes you think that?
They were talking in, and this is certainly not a judge of anything, and it's not a smoking gun, but, and I know that it is a common language, but they were arguing in Spanish. Most of our less savory brethren they're stationed south of the border. They were not speaking kindly about the idea of our dear prince. And they had less than zero concern about openly using their powers in public.
Well, that could definitely also speak of an anarch, but you're certainly right that
It could
there's
speak of a
reason to there's plenty of reason to suspect a Sabbat. Yes.
yes. It could speak of a Camarilla, to be honest. A lot of no offense, I don't know if a lot of your people are not the most careful sometimes if they're too young or dumb. But yes, we're talking not caring to the point of throwing this poor boy through that mausoleum.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's much we can do about the mausoleums that have been tarnished. But, Squire says, kneeling down, at the very least, we can make this less obvious. Claw marks can be explained away, bite marks less so. As Guire flicks her wrist and suddenly there's a knife in her hand and she jabs it into the poor sop's neck and rips the bite wound into a gash.
Easily done.
Because I'm pretty certain once it's dead, you can't lick the wound closed.
No.
So changing it from they got bit in the neck to their throat was cut.
Right.
Mhm.
Do you have? I understand that you are close to Sabbat territory, but do you have much of a problem with that down here?
Anyone dumb enough to find themselves in the Bayou doesn't last very long if they're bringing violence. I haven't had anyone stupid enough to wander into my territory trying to make claims. Usually just the odd goth trying to come and visit the devil in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
The
What about-
occasional religious zealot trying to throw me out with the power of Christ.
What about the Camarilla?
Well,
I'm sure the Sabbat wouldn't be worried so much about Alona Samite as they would the greater
as far as the
powers.
Camarilla is concerned, they like to hire me for my services.
No, I mean, do you know if the Camarilla has much of a Sabbat problem here?
Not as of yet, but we are a week away from Mardi Gras, and there's plenty of people coming into town.
Does seem
Probably
like it
also
would be a
plenty
good
of
time.
anarchs coming in too.
Truth.
Although this was done rather stupidly and rashly, they did pick a hell of a time to do it.
Well,
I think it was a matter of somebody stumbled upon something they weren't supposed to be hearing. I heard many uses of the term Camarilla and many uses not kind of the term princessa. That's very specific.
and if I'm not mistaken, calling the prince a princess, regardless of their gender, is an insult.
It is 100% an insult. You don't even need to roll for that. That is
Yeah.
common knowledge. There
So
is
I-
the occasional female prince or feminine prince who chooses to call themselves princess to go against status quo, but generally princess is derogatory.
Yeah.
Well, that's certainly begging for trouble, but
Good news is I can describe them both to a T.
good to know. Destiny was concerned about potential Sabbat activity or anyone else coming into town around this. Worth letting them know about it. We should find a better way to dispose of this body. Hiding the wound does something if it ends up being discovered, but we should probably get rid of it.
I'm about to say something that makes it clear, if it wasn't already, that I am not from around here. I'm new.
One option,
Can't you just dump it into the swamp somewhere?
a much closer option, is the Italian mausoleum behind us. It has an ossuary in it. We just
As-
open the door to the basement and throw it in.
There's always the Mississippi.
I personally enjoy the Mississippi because then I don't get random people walking through my territory.
That's a fair point.
Well, I hate to tell you, but unfortunately, about the 15 blocks around this cemetery have been assigned to us as feeding grounds for doing this job for the night.
You lot did yourselves good pulling it 15 blocks, man. That's a good for you.
Which makes me wonder. I understand it's between the 4 people, but that's a lot of space in a very in-demand area
Well, I'll point out.
for a random mortal death.
Exactly. Guire also indicates the area around them. The other thing you'll notice, however, is that the immediate vicinity of this cemetery is barren of people.
Yes, but 15 blocks, like for reference, how far does that extend into the French Quarter, if at all?
A lot.
A lot.
It
This
covers
is prime fucking real estate.
15 block radius or diameter?
He said radius.
Okay, that covers the entire French Quarter.
We have been granted feeding ground rights over the largest tourist area, which means the easiest feeding ground, probably.
Which means that Destiny wants us in good graces, or at least the prince does.
Correct.
Which means there's something about this that's very relevant. And I don't think it's the body. Because as you mentioned, it seemed to have been a random poor idiot who's managed to stumble onto it.
No, it's the murderers. I am absolutely certain of that.
Or the circumstances.
Or the
Do I know what's happening in the next week, being a local and of relatively high status?
Oh, 100%.
There's a large number of high-profile members of the Camarilla coming into town for Mardi Gras.
I'm sorry, what?
You heard what I said.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm not of the Camarilla, technically.
Wait,
so
wait,
I'm
wait,
not
wait,
necessarily privy.
Wait, are you saying that they're going to be here?
Yeah.
Wait,
Fuck.
wait. I'm sorry. When we say they're going to be here, are we talking archons or are we talking higher?
Have you heard of the inner circle?
We may be outside of the Camarilla, but we do get our education. We're saying that the Justicars are going to be here.
And I think they'll want to know if there's any potential chance of a Sabbat incursion while they're all gathering.
I think you are accurate. Well, I have good news and bad news for them.
I'll play. What's the good news?
I lied. There's no good news.
Oh.
But if you put it that way, in my experience, it takes the edge off the situation with the right people. I would not use that joke with Destiny or the Justicars.
In
any event.
Would.
Oh, God. Destiny's going to be... Please don't tell me Destiny's going to be at Elysium tonight. It's going to be the biggest pain in the ass. Do I know, would Destiny be at Elysium tonight?
More than likely not. Destiny
Okay.
does not show up, at least has not shown up in the last couple of weeks because Carnival is huge. So he's been manning patrols and assisting with that.
Oh, well, Odds are low. That's good.
Kat will pull out her phone, respond back to the text that she got. We have info. Where? Send.
There's about a 3-minute pause, and your phone begins to ring.
Catriona here.
Cat. My apologies. I'm currently on patrol. Is this something that can be discussed over the phone, or do we need to meet?
This is sensitive, I would say.
Okay.
It's not particularly good news. It's coverable news in terms of first law, but it's not good news in terms of the implications.
Something told me it was going to be like that. Okay. It's about 10:30. Meet me at the Natural Art Museum.
All right. We will be there as soon as we can.
I'll send you an address.
Perfect. And of course, the Natural Art Museum.
The natives would know the direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why she was like, yeah, it's just immediately like, she actually probably would look straight at Mercy, tour guide.
As the tour guide, yeah.
Where's the Natural Art Museum?
Not
The,
far.
the museum, the New Orleans Museum of Art is about again our handy Google Maps.
Yep.
It's about a 16-minute drive. So with traffic and tourists, you're looking at about 25-30 minutes.
Okay.
It's a fair pace, especially navigating around tourists.
Is this something where I can't just walk to then?
No, it's about a 25-minute drive.
All right,
I mean,
who's giving me a ride? I mean, we're all going, I assume. But
I mean, I got room in the back.
Miss Ransom has the hearse.
I'm always happy to ride in a hearse.
I've had many clients tell me I look like a corpse. I'd fit right in the back.
All right.
Corpses are my best friends.
Pile on in.
Aguirre, I assume you are taking your cycle?
Yes, I will take my motorcycle.
So is there any discussion that happens in the car on the way?
Simon will ask if Kat's able to show what she sees through the corpses to other people.
Unfortunately not. It is a for the necromancer's eyes only situation. I can, if we can find somebody with particularly good artistic skills.
That was my next question.
Yes.
If you're any kind of artist.
Me, not so much. My skills are more magical and law oriented specifically.
Unless crafts works for art skill.
It does.
I have 5 dozen crafts.
If you want to be my my sketch artist.
The question is, are you doing this while in the moving vehicle?
Probably not.
Okay.
That depends on the state of the roads of New Orleans.
I'm going to assume not good.
Okay. Otherwise,
mostly cobblestone, unless you're highway, I believe. If I remember correctly.
Simon might start a rough sketch, like getting the general shape of a person in. While sketching, Simon also mutters under his breath the incantation that Kat used, just to kind of focus on the sketch.
Fair enough.
All right. Any other discussion, or is that sort of
Before
awkward silence?
once that's sort of done, before we get there, I have not yet met Destiny. I assume you have.
Mhm.
What are we in store for when we inform them that it looks like the bot is ready to attack? Quite possibly the inner circle of your sect.
Well, as you can probably imagine, there's a bit of high anxiety about that,
Imagine
and
so.
what you would call a code red.
I guess my question is, when I say this, should I be standing behind one of you?
As long as it's not me. Don't stand behind me. I'm going to be standing behind you already.
How many human
behind-
shields do I need between
Right,
me
exactly.
and the walking tank?
Stand behind me or the devil from New Orleans. We ain't scared of Destiny.
I'm not, to be clear, I'm not necessarily scared. I'm simply trying to assess the situation. I'm from New York City. We go through sheriffs on a fairly regular basis there.
I can imagine.
And they vary in temperament. Some of them are very calm, very rational. Some of them less so. And I understand Destiny is who Destiny is clan wise,
Mhm.
but I have met a number of your clan who are definitely happier to go off the rails than some brew I've met. So I'm just simply trying to get an assessment of his trigger finger.
Where she kind of laughs at the pun of trigger finger when talking about the deputy. You know, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I've never encountered a situation like this before. I just mostly drive this tour here, but
Fair enough point.
Does
guess we'll
Simon
find
know
out.
how Destiny reacts to those that Destiny is not pleased with?
How long has Simon been in New Orleans proper?
A while.
A while, okay. Well, have you ever seen a Wolverine in a burlap sack be beaten with a stick? It's kind of like
good.
that. But
Oh, I was expecting much worse.
Destiny does have because of the shit Destiny has been through in his unlife, Destiny has a better grip on his temper than most of his ilk. That being said, one hand on a stick of dynamite is still a stick of dynamite. So he does have a massive anger problem. It just depends on the situation on how he reacts. He has never outwardly pursued. He's never just flown off the handle for no reason.
Simon is alive after all.
Yes.
Unalive, but
you have not reached final death, and you have met him on numerous occasions.
As much as the Bruja might hate Simon, it has not been enough of a cause to warrant final death. But Simon to Kat will comment, holding fireworks in your hand might be safer. But fortunately, we're not the ones holding it tonight.
So he's not necessarily a kill the messenger kind of person.
Not particularly.
Nah, the
Okay.
messenger's got the information. Why would he kill the messenger?
The messenger would have to fuck up royally.
Good news, I don't tend to do that.
Well, then you're all
Oh,
right.
thing that would have been established. Did we figure out who was disposing of the body before we left?
That is a great question.
Oh, yes.
No, it's
Can
just
we
in the
toss
back
it in
of
the
the hearse
hearse?
chilling with us.
Can we toss it in the hearse?
I mean,
It is a hearse.
yeah, it is a hearse. I assume it's fully functioning as a hearse, or have
Seems
you
Oh, yeah.
perfectly
retrofitted it for-
appropriate.
Oh, yeah.
Simon's just in the back of the hearse chilling with the corpse.
No,
To-
that,
to-
I mean,
To get to the museum, we do have to drive through bodies of water. Like, we have to go over our bridge. We can't stop and throw it in.
Let's not.
Yet.
not yet.
Yet.
For a couple of reasons. One, Destiny may want to see the body for some reason or another.
I would imagine so.
For another, there are better opportunities to get this to vanish in more subtle ways.
Understandably. I just know there was the talk of throwing it in the Mississippi.
We'll get there, just not yet.
Fair enough.
Was merely a convenient body of water to mention.
Okay. So if nothing else is really discussed, nothing of import is discussed. As you all arrive at the New Orleans Museum of Art, we will take a break.
All righty.
So,
All right.
folks, we will be back in 15.
15.
Or
Sounds good. Or
Okay.
Thank you.
we'll be back with whenever ish.
okay.
Thank
All
you,
right.
15.
And enjoy these ads. If this button I'm about to press works. I push the button. It is spinning. Yep, pre-roll ads are on.
Alrighty.
All right. I'll be back.
I will be back as well.
Break tends to go as long as break goes.
Fair enough.
Just whenever everyone reaccumulates.
Yep. This is fun. I'm excited to be back playing Vampire again.
I am excited and nervous.
Doing great so far.
Well, the nervous is also just like this character could rub people the wrong way very easily.
I will be right back. Fun thing to note. Hi everyone in chat. Jeremy put it on ads and then didn't put it on the break screen.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
And all the cameras are tossed to one side because Katie had to turn her camera off.
I'm sure we'll fix that when he comes back.
Welcome to a rare insight into how our breaks work. It's not all that special, being perfectly honest.
Yeah. Just those here just kind of ramble.
Oh, we get into some stupid conversations at times on break.
Fair.
This isn't the Thursday game where we can just go for longer than we probably should on the most ridiculous topics.
So I feel like a fun fact is you can do a 360 virtual tour of the cemeteries in New Orleans.
Oh, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And the Italian mausoleum with an ossuary in it is a thing.
Oh, there he is.
Jeremy has returned. What's its proper name?
Hey, Jeremy, you ran the ads but didn't put it on the break screen.
Oop.
It happens.
And we're back. Not a dinosaur story.
It lives.
And yet you still gave it the time.
I had to say it once.
You've been waiting for that moment, haven't you?
Little bit.
So, anyway, as you all arrive at the New Orleans Museum of Art, oh God, sorry, my blue light filter just decided to stop working randomly. And now it's going to flash. That's fun. So,
It's all good.
my eyes. As you approach, there is one security guard out front who eyes the four of you as you walk up and just sort of steps in front of the door.
Hello.
Hello, can I help you tonight?
Yes, we have a meeting.
All right, and who may I ask that you are meeting tonight?
Can I read this individual and tell if they've got the look of a ghoul?
Yes.
Do I need to roll for that? Or
trying to think what I would have you roll here. Wits and wits and empathy.
Wits and empathy? I can do that. Wits, empathy, difficulty 6?
Diff 6, yes.
1 success.
Success. Yeah, you can tell he seems above board.
As in not Gould or...
No, Gould.
Oh, he is Gould? Okay.
Yeah. You're not 100% certain if Gould or just aware.
Okay, but he's definitely aware of vampires in general. If you don't mind, I believe the sheriff is waiting for us.
All right. He unlocks the front door and lets you in. And you are greeted by the majesty that is the New Orleans Museum of Art. And sitting in the center is a very nice painting. I'm not sure what exhibits are actually there right now. But Destiny is currently posed in front of it, just sort of staring at it. It took you a little longer than I thought you would. That's okay, though.
I had to take a brief drive. All the tourists are out at night.
To describe Destiny as he turns around to meet you, Destiny is about 6'3", 5 feet wide, short but mangy black hair. He's wearing a basic outfit of blue jeans into brown work boots, a white shirt, and a brown Carhartt shirt. The most noticeable thing about Destiny is that he has one blue eye and one missing one. There is just sort of an open hole where his right eye should be, followed by 2 long claw marks down the side of his face. All right, so what have you got?
Sheriff.
Squire thumbs over her shoulder to Kat.
So here's what I can tell you. First of all, to finally meet you. I used some of my clan's talents, and here's what I know for sure. This individual just happened to stumble wrong place, wrong time into the cemetery, and came across 2 individuals. I will give a brief description of them, who were speaking in Spanish using the phrase, I am not fluent, but I did recognize obvious phrases, Camarilla, Princessa, not positively in any stretch of the imagination. And once they realized he was there, chased him down with very little respect to the Masquerade. One of them had claws. Gangrel, anti-teacher
Potentially,
view, one of something, and proceeded to, without caring much what might get discovered, fairly brutally dispatch them. Unfortunately, my vision, that's where my vision on the matter ends. When their life ends, so does mine.
That
And I
said,
did not
those-
immediately see them floating around post mortem to look into the matter.
That said, those claws did take a number out of some mausoleum, and also they launched the poor bastard through the roof of another. There's
Mhm.
some stonework that's in dire need of repair.
I
Well,
got a guy I can get on it.
while they are talking, Simon is doing a more thorough, like adding on to that rough sketch from the hearse.
Roll me dexterity and crafts at difficulty 7 because you're going off a description.
Dexterity. Correct. And that button. 2 successes.
Fairly decent drawing. So you bring to life the two individuals. I assume you show them to Destiny.
From like kind of around the side of somebody else, not like directly in front of Destiny.
Here you go.
Like just like kind of stepping from like completely behind, like kind of sidestepping forward a little bit
He
and
will
like holding it out.
I don't recognize him, but I could get this passed around.
Unfortunately, it sounds like your worst fears are being realized.
Seems like the sword of Cain has taken hold in New Orleans.
Theme, or at least an advance party.
If you want,
Mm.
if you've got anything that you feel you might glean from inspecting the body yourself, it's outside in the hearse before we dispose of it.
What's your plan with that?
I was thinking either the river or the mausoleum, but that's me personally.
Personally, I prefer
had-
the Mississippi, but I can be persuaded.
I had potential thoughts. Not everyone lingers post death, but I was thinking perhaps I might store the body in case this poor sucker is still around and decides to return. Bodies can be very efficient ties to this world, and they might frequent it. And then I could potentially ask more questions. I don't know if there's any more information that they can offer, but better to have and not need than need and not have.
I can respect that.
Very, very true. What manner of preserving are you using? Or are you just gonna stick a corpse in your?
Oh no. I will. There's only so much that I can do. I am not a doctor. I'm not a mortician. But there are some certain things that I can do to make sure that it doesn't attract attention. I would imagine I was planning on storing it in my attic, to be honest.
Okay. Let me take a look at it, and then by all means, if you can glean something else from it.
Yes. And if not, then we can dispose of it in due time. I don't think anybody's going to be stopping by.
Oh, that poor bastard. Destiny, you want me to pop the trunk?
If you don't mind. And he will begin walking out towards the hearse.
If you don't mind my asking while we're walking, Destiny, why'd you reach out to me and not to Umar?
Do you want the polite answer or do you want my answer?
Well, I've had my fill of polite society with lately, so go ahead and give it to me straight.
Because I don't feel like shelling out a bunch of cash.
I appreciate your honesty.
I get you have to make your way in the world somehow, but, murder for hire is kind of cliche at this point. And charges too damn much.
Mm.
So you pop the trunk of the hearse, and he very unceremoniously just sort of drags the body onto the ground. He gets down, starts running his hands through the claws. Well, that's at least done with animalism. If not just gangrel claws. Looks like we got some anti-tribute walking around.
Mm.
He'll sort of investigate some of the more blunt force trauma he's been through. Skull cracked wide open, couple of broken bones, most of them broken.
If I could ask, Sheriff, as you might imagine, I was not necessarily privy to upcoming events for the Camarilla. When is this happening, and what to expect for a new resident to this city in terms of this?
Well, we were trying to keep it hush-hush, but there are a few people in Elysium who do not have so tight of lips as I.
If you really want people to be quiet, you should tell Alexander to keep his damn mouth shut.
I can tell that boy a great number of things, doesn't mean he's going to fucking listen. But we do have an upcoming event with the Justicars of the Camarilla in about a week. Not the night of Mardi Gras, but a few days after. But Mardi Gras being what it is, I don't see whatever is going on in the city going quiet.
I know that my clan is not normally religiously maintains themselves outside of this situation, these sorts of situations. But as somebody new to the city, just as this going on, who very much to put it on its face, would not like the fact that I am new to cast any doubt my way. What can I do to help this situation?
Well, definitely need more feet on the ground. I know that. I got a few areas I could have the four of you patrol, but watching and waiting only does so much.
Of course.
I will get this image circulated and see if I can't drum up some names. Beyond that, I'll have to reach out to Guillaume, see what he wants to do, since he's mainly been in charge of handling the proceedings leading up to the meeting.
Okay.
I don't know why it had to be our city. I don't know why it had to be fucking Mardi Gras, but whatever. It is what it is.
So,
You got any family in the city? Cat.
Yes, there are a couple. There is Corinna. She is more of a foot person, but she is very well connected. And there is one other, I don't know exactly where her status is right now within the city. We do not have we do not have lines of communication, that one. But
I see.
I can certainly check and see whatever you need. I am positive Clan Giovanni would be more than happy to help.
All right. Good. Wait, Karina, like the weapons smuggler, Karina? I'm sorry, purveyor of
There is a businesswoman within the family named Corinna here. I cannot verify if she smuggles weapons or not, but there is definitely somebody here named Corinna who is very good at acquiring items. I'm sure they wouldn't operate anything illegal.
Of course. Lawyers.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Mercy, I heard you were trying to say something.
no, I was just saying, as a woman who runs her own business, and this is a fairly big time of tourism, lots of marks. If we were to be on foot patrol and I'd have to give up my business, not to be crass, but what's in it for me?
Well, I can talk to Simone about getting you some financial compensation to make up for the loss of revenue. I can continue to see it. I can see if I can continue to allow you the feeding grounds.
All right.
For a continued bit of time. Beyond that, what are you wanting?
No. Money and food just about covers it. I just want to lose any revenue. It's a
Completely understand. Simon, what about you? Can I count on you to continue with this entourage?
I would believe so. My managers at the shop are more than capable of doing the alterations and repairs that commonly come in this time of year.
Good. Okay.
So unless the prince wants something more custom for folks for the Justicar's arrival, then I should be free to move about.
If you wanted to know that, you should talk to Alexander or Charlotte. That's not my my forte. That being said, if you all want to try and get audience with anybody, I don't suggest trying to get a hold of Simone tonight. This is not going to go well. This news. Plus, I think she's painting tonight, so don't get involved. I do know where Elysium is, so if you do want to go and scout around and see if you can get some more information or what have you.
Fun as it would be to cause another fight just by walking in the doors. I think I'd rather not give you more work than you've already got tonight.
I'm going to make some phone calls. Y'all feel free to go and we'll cash in your chit for tonight. Go feed.
Yeah,
Some,
I think I could use a decent hunt tonight, and you've given me such a broad hunting ground.
Eating good tonight.
And he helps you put the body back into the hearse. And then as soon as that is done, he has his phone out and is making phone calls.
Please, I would love to know that Alexander would be properly frightened into shutting his mouth, but I know that's nigh impossible.
I can do my best.
If you need better than that, get him outside of Elysium anywhere near me.
It's that beginning of the sentence that's the problem.
Mm.
And he will tip an imaginary hat to the four of you and pick up the phone or begin talking on the other end and just walk back towards the museum.
Let's see. Would you mind giving me a ride to my place so we can bring the body there?
Sure thing.
Thank you. That would be much appreciated. And I am not far from the quarter, so hunting should be very easy to do immediately after.
If I may, Kat, could I accompany you? See if we can refine this sketch more.
Yes,
Get
absolutely.
The more detailed and more notable features, the easier it is for everyone to spot.
Yes, for sure.
Well, while the three of you are doing that, I think I'm going to put myself ahead in the hunt.
Have fun.
Only fair.
Be careful if there are dangerous elements out and not the usual kind.
You're talking to the devil of New Orleans.
I don't think anyone's going to give me any trouble.
I do understand that. I'm just saying. I don't know what it's normally like here. And forgive me if this sounds condescending.
Oh, your concern
My understanding is you must, if you're not in a city that is used to being sieged by the Sabbat, it's easy to let your guard down.
I've been through more than one siege in this city. Maybe not all by vampires, but...
We should talk at some point, by the way. I have some... There's no way for this not to sound weird or suspicious or the like, but I have some questions about your people.
I can only answer so much.
I understand that.
The old man, no, not even by tradition. The old man on the mountain doesn't reach very far around.
I absolutely understand that. Well, shall we?
All right, you two, hop on in.
Yep.
Let's get going. I'm starving.
Good luck beginning your hunt. Although I would appreciate not terrorizing my store since that is within the 15 blocks.
I'll make sure to steer clear.
Thank you.
And while they go off to hide a body, Guire will go off to get some food.
Okay. Just looking up the feeding rules here. I think we discussed this before. I love World of Darkness. I love it so much. But they have the hugest problem of hiding everything in their book.
mean,
every book is 3 parts. It's 3 parts lore and 1 part rules.
like that. So I know role playing games are infamous for their bad indexes and table of contents. All I will say is World of Darkness. I'm pretty sure it was the Werewolf second edition book, page XX in the index. There was an index section that referred to page XX because they forgot to put the number in.
Okay, hunting begins on page 259.
Okay, thank you.
Hilariously, the Clan Malkavian tradition book spoofed that particular moment because in the second edition Clan book there is simply a page that reads XX.
That's brilliant.
I love it when they can make fun of their own mistakes.
Yeah.
So, Guire, where in the French Quarter would you be headed for hunting, and what sort of prey would you be after tonight?
Guire is going to look for her usual ideal prey, which is twofold. Either the counterculture movement of the area or the religious fanatics of the area. There's a twofold approach there. If you're finding the religious fanatics, it's basically wait until they try and push her out for being the devil of New Orleans and just generally wigging out the religious fanatics of the area by her very presence, and then turn self-defense into a good meal. Or the counterculture movement, who is inevitably attracted to that devil reputation, makes them much easier to draw in with a conversation to get a good meal.
Okay.
And so typically she'd be aiming around like nightclubs and the late night scene of the area.
So there are a number of nightclubs in the area that, specifically have a high number of, I assume, people of the goth scene is what you're looking for?
Primarily, yeah.
Okay.
The people who hear this person is the devil for the religious zealots and go, oh, I should meet that person.
So you have a choice of 3 nightclubs. I know where I would pick, but I also want to continue running a game on the stream. So you can go to the Dungeon, the Goat, or you can go to Masquerade nightclub.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my god.
I wish I was, and I'll throw it out there. That's where Elysium is being held tonight.
I feel like the keeper has a serious sense of humor, and I appreciate them already.
I want to pass by Masquerade nightclub, but I'm heading to the dungeon because if I actually hunt anywhere near Masquerade, I'm going to kill a Tremere.
You know what? That's completely fair.
It's valid.
All right, so getting to Masquerade, the scene it's pretty packed. It's Carnival, it's close to midnight now. So go ahead and give me a perception and alertness to see if we can find somebody that you would. Let's see if we can pick out the right juice box for you.
Difficulty.
Difficulty 6.
Would this be reduced by my dot of fame?
Yes, it would.
Cool. 3 successes.
Easy enough. You can spot a group of individuals at the bar who are dressed in very stereotypical early 2000s goth attire. Most of these kids look like they were definitely most of them look like they're barely old enough to get into the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So most of them were learning to walk when this fashion was in style. But there's 2 males and 2 females and 1 androgynous individual in the group. Which exactly would Guayar go after tonight?
Whichever one seems to be the most on the exterior of the environment and perhaps the most actually interesting. There's a certain level of goth where there's the lack of passion has seeped so far into their soul that there's nothing there. She much prefers the goth who says, life is pointless, so fuck it, enjoy yourself.
Okay. That would be a one of the females, a woman of some form of Latino descent, but she's definitely covered it up with makeup. Just those features are too hard to hide sometimes. She is currently wearing a Satan is my daddy t-shirt.
Yes.
And has striped leggings tucked into combat boots and is wearing a black and green tulle skirt. Her hair is tied up in 2 raven black buns with an assemblage of different jewelry throughout it, and she's wearing the Luciferian cross around her neck.
Aren't you just a treat?
As you say that, she will look up and look you up and down. I could be.
What do you say we find a place that's not quite so... I look over across, and this is like near and around Masquerade, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Pretentious.
I believe. Yeah, they're 0.2 of a mile apart.
As looking in the direction of Masquerade, somewhere that's not so pretentious, shall we?
Of course. Roll me.
Yeah.
Manipulation and expression. Difficulty. She's drunk. Difficulty 5.
Do fame and or enchanting voice apply to this?
Enchanting voice will.
Okay, so that'll reduce the difficulty by 2. Three successes.
3 successes. She follows you like a puppy. So where from the bar are you leading her exactly?
Probably a secluded place that's not... she aims for seclusion, but not threatening. So not like a back alley.
Okay.
But definitely a place where you can get a little bit more quiet and a little bit more privacy. If she has to drop a little bit of money for a quick hotel room, she's not above it.
Okay. there is around the dungeon. I want to say there's also a place called the Dragon's Den.
Looking at nightclubs on Google Maps shows a lot of dots.
Oh God, yes, it does. New Orleans does not play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it does play quite hard, actually.
You know what? Fair. So
Calling Masquerade nightclub pretentious, and there's also a Starbucks in the same building.
Yep.
Of course it did.
So
That just reinforces her pretentious designation.
Not
I was gonna
too
say-
far down the street and around the corner, it gets a little more what's the best way to say this? Convenience shoppy.
Mhm.
There's a grocery store and there's you're near Cafe Du Monde. So it's a little more quiet out that way. So it's a good 5-10 minute walk, but you do manage to find a little bit of seclusion.
That'll do.
And the whole time she has told you her name is Mariposa, and that she is in town for the week for Mardi Gras. Her family brought her down here, but she's not really with them for the week. And she's just generally droned on about herself most of the time that you've been walking.
And Guire has listened and interjected in conversation with every air of someone who absolutely loves all of it. She's practiced at this by now.
Oh yeah. You got 2 centuries worth of experience. You got this. So getting to your small secluded spot, how do you go about it? Do you want to... Is Guire attempting to overpower her? Attempting to seduce her into the kiss?
She definitely aims more for seduction than overpowering. She doesn't want to leave an individual with a night they're going to regret.
Okay. So give me your Dotson enchanting voice will help you in this. Give me charisma. An expression?
I can do expression, and I can also do subterfuge.
Yes. And your enchanting voice will apply.
Charisma, subterfuge, or charisma expression?
Charisma, subterfuge.
Subterfuge. Enchanting voice, base difficulty?
Yes, base difficulty reduced by
2. Blam! 3 successes.
Okay, 3 successes. So you get to talking with her, and eventually she leans in for a kiss first. She is a little intoxicated, so she's got liquid courage running through her veins. And then I assume you reciprocate?
Yeah, she'll
little bit.
lean into the kiss for a moment, and then at the moment of proper anticipation, leans down to what would seem like trailing kisses down the neck until it leads into the actual kiss.
And how many points of blood are you taking?
She would know roughly how many this person can take without suffering any major damage.
I believe that's 3.
Yeah, so she'll take 3.
So she enjoys it, and we will leave it at that.
Yep.
How do you return her to the bar? Do you leave her there? How does Guayar wrap up this package?
Guayar returns her to the bar, leaving her with the idea that she had just had probably the most magical night of her life.
Okay.
And we'll let her enjoy her time in New Orleans.
Okay. The rest of the group.
Yep.
You arrive to Kat's fairly brand new house.
Yep. Well, old, but newly moved into.
New to her.
Yes, new to her. It is a fairly how does the listing describe it again? Victorian facade and spacious from blah 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 blah. It is a single, or it is a 2-story building. Has a very sort of almost classic front area, porch with 2 sets of steps up, etc., positioned right easily within walking distance of the quarter. No lights on when we come up. Kat will step out or get out once the car stops. Look around, make sure nobody's around. Sure nobody's out. Although I think I actually have parking too.
I think you have, if I remember the listing.
I believe I have
parking.
external park. Yeah, rear parking.
Even better.
Yeah, so now pull it around back. There is a pool. Of course, there's a pool. And yeah, she will get out. Could somebody help me take it inside? Take them inside. Let's not be rude to our departed friend.
How many flights are we talking about?
It's just one flight.
Oh, okay.
I've set
I got you.
I've set my workspace up upstairs.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, head in through the back, and this is very much, the house is very much in the somebody just moved in. Like, there are boxes, there are that's, but it is also like, I'm not down here temporarily. Like, I have moved everything I have into this place. But yeah, so drag it in, go up this sort of spiral staircase up to where sort of the center of center room in the top floor is the top floor is the roof is angled, or the ceiling is angled because the roof affects it, and there's just one large space that has been completely cleared out. It's the only room that has been arranged at all at this point, except for maybe the bedroom. And there is a table laid out with like wax paper over it. Looks like it's perfectly ready for someone to put a corpse onto.
Quick note, Jeremy. Katie and I have swapped camera positions.
Well, that is definitely a thing that you guys have done. Yes. Yeah. No. My screen for that is very, very small. So I had just, when I rearranged the cameras, because one of them shut off, I did not notice. I will fix that right now. Let's turn on studio mode. There we go. And I can move that over here. And I can move that over there. Hey, look, everybody's in the right place.
Yay!
Yay! But yeah, so proceeds, sets carefully down. Thank you, I appreciate it.
No worries.
Welcome to my home.
Oh, it's a nice place.
It is. I managed to find a good deal, all things considered. And I mean, it's well located. It's historic. That's important to me. I appreciate history, and New Orleans definitely has a lot of it.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sure. I'm sure you're aware of that. Obviously,
It's my trade, but
yes,
yes, I appreciate you appreciating history.
of course. If we don't appreciate history, where are we? We're animals, nothing more. Um, but yes, I imagine we will be working together quite a bit. Um, I'm going to, and she looks back over at the body and like, I am going to actually be eschewing any feeding tonight. I made sure I was well fed before I arrived. And I have a lot of work, and I'm sure that you have a lot of hunting to do.
Uh, yeah, I need to grab a quick bite.
Yes.
But it's
We
nice to
should.
meet you.
Do you have? And she pulls out her cell. What's your number? We should all be in touch. I suppose we should have gotten Choir's number. I hope one of you do have it.
I'll let Guire give it to you, but here's my number.
Wonderful. She programmed it in, sends a text. Should go get Simon's as well. You are muted, Trev. There you go.
Simon, yeah, Simon would have come up with you guys
Okay.
and like might have helped try to get it, like wrangle it up the stairs.
Right.
But Simon is not particularly strong.
Fair. So yeah, get your number, send you a text as well. All right, we'll get Guire and we'll set up a group text. How's that?
All right.
Sounds
Guess
like
that's how we're gonna do it.
I mean, obviously for sensitive stuff we'll have to meet in person, but
Of course.
all right. Well, pleasure to meet you both. If you need anything,
Alright.
you know where to find me.
Yeah. Always nice to know somebody helpful.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get out of your hair and I'm gonna go hunting.
All right. Good
I'll
hunting.
see y'all later.
Yes.
Thank you.
After Mercy steps out, like starts to leave, Simon will ask, Kat, if I may, is preparing the body interruptible or does it take complete focus?
No, I am going to be. There's honestly not a lot of preparation. I am going to. I mean, the short of it is I'm going to find out who he is through traditional means.
Have
Not
we checked his pockets for an ID?
things like that. Yes, things like that, and the thaumaturgical magic of Google. And once I have a name, and the body will be significant because it might be a tie for him to this world. We'll see if I can summon him.
That would be helpful.
So yes. But yes, no, it doesn't take a whole lot of. It would be difficult to interrupt. I think for your, let's say, and forgive the turn of phrase. It is not meant to be impugning to your people. But for peace of mind, yours, it is not always a pleasant experience to see the restless dead. Some of them can be very traumatizing.
Understandable. I can't imagine, particularly someone who died such a traumatic death, would be calm.
They tend to be very angry as a rule, or grief stricken. Some of them don't understand.
Hmm.
There can be any number of things. So that is why we tend to want to work this the actual summoning in private.
Hmm.
So yes, but I'm if you don't want to leave quite yet, that's perfectly fine. It's going to take me a while until I can get to that point.
My thought was I just sit out of the way working on the sketch and
Oh, absolutely.
getting your input.
Sounds perfect to me.
All right. At least until you're ready to summon them, and then I can
Yes.
step away.
I imagine that's something that I don't know. Maybe I will literally find him in 5 seconds of Googling.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, somebody who a random New Orleans or what have you,
Or a tourist.
that stumbled their way into probably not very likely to be a quick post or a quick discovery.
Indeed.
But we'll see. You never know. So yeah, that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna start checking the pockets,
Okay.
trying to if there's nothing that easy on it, she will start take a photo, Google image search that, um, start checking um like online forums and news for missing people who fit the description, that sort of thing. She's just going to spend most of the rest of the night trying to figure out who this is.
Okay. I will get you that
Cool.
next session, probably.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it probably, like, Guire starts sketching again and comes to mind.
Simon? Not Guire?
Yes. I think what? Simon, and it'll, like, come to mind as he's sketching. May I look at the clothes? See if they're notable to any of the local boutiques.
Yes. No harm
And
no harm to me.
This is probably going to be a weird roll, but give me wits and crafts difficulty 6. Your specialty should apply.
would eidetic memory count?
I
I'm not
believe
sure how
so.
I'm not sure how to use it, but it's like, if Simon's looked around at various clothing stores in the region, or like around the French Quarter and immediate surrounding.
Let's go ahead instead and give me a perception and alertness check then, if you're going to use eidetic memory, because you actively have to look at it for them to use the merit.
Okay, so it was perception and alertness, or wits and crafts.
Yes, wits and crafts diff 7, or perception and alertness diff 6.
Wits and crafts 7. And my tailor professional skill applies.
Yes.
Okay, so that's how many dots did I put in that? Switch back over sheet. 3 dots on that. Modifiers 3.
Oh yeah, you know the
Success.
exact. So some of this is Walmart brand clothing.
Mhm.
Like the t-shirt that he's got on, but the button down that he's wearing and the trousers he's wearing come from a shop not too far from yours. That in your opinion doesn't do as good work as you, but bias.
I am a high clothing store, not a
Yes.
random
So
boutique.
he, if not a local, is definitely a tourist who has bought something in the time that he's been here.
Mhm.
Jeremy, I will give you that you did find his wallet,
Okay.
and his name is Alex Richards.
Alex Richards. All right. Cool.
So yes, you now know where the clothing's from. Sort of narrowed down a. It is a Louisiana license, driver's license.
Okay.
So
And Simon will comments like, these are from from X store at address in the like French Quarter or whatever neighboring it might be.
Seems like a local to me.
If
That makes it
not a
easier.
tourist, but we know
The driver's
we know
license
where he
usually also includes a home address.
it does.
Is it New Orleans?
It is New Orleans.
Okay.
It's a local. That makes this easier and harder.
Indeed.
Mostly easier, though. So, you know. Actually, that makes it much easier now that I think about it. Because if we can't use the body to summon him, I'm sure, assuming he didn't immediately pass on, which seems moderately unlikely. If the body isn't a fetter for him, I'm sure there's any number of possessions at home, relatives, workplaces that can be used. Yeah, this will be fine. This will be doable.
Mhm.
Smile.
Okay. So then we transition to Mercy. Where are you hunting for the evening? I assume French Quarter, but I don't want to
Yes,
take
French
away
Quarter.
choice.
And she is going to go to St. Anthony's Garden
Okay.
in the French Quarter.
Okay. So is there any particular sort of person, any particular sort of prey you are looking for tonight? Do you have a preference? Are you grabbing the first random passerby who's alone? Is it a dine and dash? How's this working for you tonight?
I am looking for somebody who is distracted, not necessarily drunk, but maybe somebody who's jogging, or somebody who's on their phone, or somebody who's just not very aware of their surroundings.
Give me a perception and alertness check, difficulty 6. feel like in World of Darkness, you either roll the same 3 rolls all night or just roll the most random of shit.
Right?
There's no in between.
Roll me a strength plus computers.
So we're perception and alertness difficulty 6.
Yes.
Isn't that just old technology and hit it until it works again?
Yes. How a Bruja uses a computer.
Listen. If it stops working for a second and I hit it and it starts working, that was obviously the solution.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Also, how a Bruja might beat someone to death with a computer.
Gods, I have horrible images in my head now.
Well, strength in computers to know how to swing this computer to do the most damage.
Yep.
There's
Okay.
geometry involved.
So, with 2 successes, you are able to find somebody who is both distracted on their phone and walking alone in the area. It is a Caucasian male, roughly 6 foot in height, fairly well dressed, but they are face down in phone walking.
Perfect.
So, what is your tactic here? Because that will determine what I need to roll for you, or what I need to have you roll.
She is going to play the she's gonna play the Lost Tourist card.
Okay.
So tapping them on the shoulder saying, I'm so sorry, I made a long turn somewhere. Can you please help me? Can you please walk with me and help me get me in the right direction?
He sort of looks at you. Well, where are you going?
Oh, Bourbon Street?
Roll me manipulation and subterfuge difficulty. We'll just go base difficulty. Difficulty 6.
So it's manipulation. And what's the other one?
Subterfuge.
Subterfuge.
Oh boy.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, he is right away buying into it. Yeah. So, do you want me to tell you how to get there, or like?
Can you show me, please? I'm like really bad with verbal directions. It's one of
Yeah,
those.
you probably shouldn't be walking alone at night anyway.
No, thank you. That's
Not-
so gallant of you. Thank you.
Oh no, that it's okay. So he starts walking with you. So my follow-up question is this a attack from behind? Are you waiting till he gets you there? And what is Mercy doing to get to the point of feeding?
Well, she doesn't want to get all the way to Bourbon Street because Bourbon Street is busy.
Yes. Always.
So she wants to stay within the garden if she can. So probably she's probably going to do like that like fake tripping thing, like it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I tripped, and like is grabbing onto him for support, and that's when she goes in for it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm so clumsy.
Okay. And here's one of those weird rolls. Give me dexterity and subterfuge. Difficulty 6.
At least y'all get to use subterfuge. Like,
we'll get there. The lawyer will get her time to shine.
no, that
I was about to say.
he's very specifically not feeding tonight for a very specific reason.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got a job to do.
Holding my
You got-
breath. Here
You
we
got a job to
go.
do, and her method is beat someone unconscious and then feed,
Oh.
because
That's not great.
You got there.
Yep.
You only need one success.
Yep, you only need one success to feed. So as he leans down to help you back up, you reach up, grab the back of his head, and just fangs into his throat. How many points of blood is Mercy taking?
What's the note? Like you can't, like, not to hurt him, but like
The
to
safe
eat it
line is
up.
usually 3.
Yeah,
3.
the safe
Yeah,
line's
let's go with
usually
3. 3.
Okay. And so then after that, what is she going to do with Mr. Knight in shining armor?
She is
They will be very out of it after having blood drained by a vampire.
Yeah, you got about 10 minutes of him not really understanding what's going on.
I'm gonna find a bench and leave him there and book it.
There is nothing out of place in New Orleans.
About a slightly intoxicated guy on a bench.
Yep.
Exactly.
kind of
Mercy
par for the
Mercy
course.
knows this town.
All I can think of is you just lay him down gently in the gutter.
Look, we've seen originals. We know how this goes.
I'm gonna Edgar Allan Poe this guy. I'm gonna put him on a bench.
I'm so glad you used that reference. That is the best reference.
Chuck him in a ditch and run.
She's not that callous. She's good.
Oh, okay. Having placed your juice box back on its bench, you hightail it out of there and go back to your car. And with that, we have one more scene of the night as our camera shifts to a different spot in the city. On the top of a nightclub, in a secluded part of the bar, sit 2 individuals at a table. One, a gentleman roughly 6 foot tall, thin, with long blonde hair and a number of tattoos adorning his face and hands. He's wearing a black suit with a white button-down shirt, open, and a tie strewn onto the table. Sitting beside him, in stark contrast, is a somewhere between child and teenage girl with bone straight black hair, bright blue eyes, wearing a rather nice black dress with an assemblage of ruffles and Mary Jane shoes.
Are you in the full Wednesday Addams here?
Very much so. He is sipping on a wine glass full of what can only be seen as blood, while she is chowing down on what looks to be strawberry ice cream with syrup. But the more clever of us know what it actually is. Blood sorbet and a fresh kill on top. And in between bites, she looks at the man beside her and says, 4 of the 5 candles have been lit. Things are going according to plan. But the sheriff knows. The gentleman takes a swig of his blood. Well, as unfortunate as that is, it does not put a hindrance on our plans. His left hand, he holds a shattered piece of a mirror up to the sky and looks into it. As it turns black and one blood red eye looks out of it. He smiles. as long as the next convoy of trucks and cars arrive on time, it should be in the city within a number of days. And we can look to raising your father from his slumber. And that is where we're going to end for the night.
All righty.
Yay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Night.